Hello everyone, today's video I am here barefaced and I am going to be doing a talk through get ready with me throwback Thursday sort of moment. And it's been a while since I've done any sort of get ready with me, but specifically since I've done a throwback Thursday, I really need to do a single Saturday. But these series I try to do once a month-ish because there's just so many other videos I like to do during the month. Today's video, I'm going to pull out my BellaBeauteBar Secret Garden palette. I am wearing this green sweater and I really want to play with these greens. Jasper is here, so is Shiloh, so we'll see how this goes. But I want to play with some of the greens in here today. I really do love this palette. I recently did a ranking of all the palettes that I received or got or brought into my collection in 2025. That's what those stacks of palettes. I have stacks of palettes places. Nothing is up here because they're all out on my desk, it seems like. But this ranked extremely high, so I will leave that video link down below. It should have been my last one if I'm scheduling these correctly. And I really wanted to use this again. And I want to put on my What's Up Beauty. This is the glossy lip balm. This is just a clear lip balm. It feels very nice. I purchased this with my own money. I know What's Up Beauty sends a lot of PR packages. I unfortunately am not one of those people, but I do want to use some of the makeup that I recently purchased. Lip balm is one of them. And we'll do just a full face, I guess. So I'm going to use my Milk Hydro Grip. I am so close to being empty. I really thought this was going to be an empty in 2025, but that was not the case. So, chugging in 2026. I would love to finish it in January. So, I have acquired a lot of primers. I'm going to pat it in, rub it all over my face, but then I pat it in. But I have acquired so many primers. So I have a primer from What's Up Beauty that I, got. And then I got a Sephora Favorites kit. I do want to do a monthly collective haul situation and kind of keep track of budget and things of that nature. Kind of like a low buy update, except I really don't have any rules. I'm doing it more to track because I don't know exactly where I am coming from, because when you're doing these goals and stuff, you got to make it attainable, but you also got to know where you started off. And I know I don't purchase a whole lot of makeup, but I also know that my collection was a little out of hand, or is currently a little out of hand for my liking. But I want to do a video in the end of January, beginning of February, where I'm kind of just going through all the makeup that I have brought into my collection and be honest about prices, gift card usage, credit card point usage, whatever. It's one of those, it's one of those things because I just want to keep track of it with you all. And I have started uploading empties videos. So you'll see my makeup empties and beauty empties through there. So my Secret Garden palette, this is the first and only palette I have from BellaBeauteBar, but there is a palette or two on their website that I really want. And I think that's gonna be a birthday present to myself. BellaBeauteBar is very expensive, and this palette is also pretty expensive, but their formulas are amazing. I'm thinking I'm going to stay more towards this end of the palette. This palette is also huge. So I'm going to go into Escape, which is the lowest, which is a murky green sort of color. I'm just going to start that in the crease. But there is a palette or two from BellaBeauteBar that I really want. My birthday is February 1st. So this palette was a birthday Valentine's Day gift together. So we ordered it on my birthday for my birthday present, and it didn't come until the weekend of Valentine's Day. So I kind of count it as an in-between present I do have a code. I try not to push codes on to you guys, so I only really specify if I'm actually talking about the product, not, oh, by the way, I have a bunch of codes linked down below. But the BellaBeauteBar code is affiliated, so I do make a commission, so that is nice. I would personally like to wait for a bigger sale than 10% off, but I also know that I would like to keep my code open, so I gotta use it, or someone has to use it for me to keep it. When I first got this palette, I kind of neglected these greens, I'm not gonna lie. But these greens are really pretty. I've been wanting to pull this back out again because it's kind of been sitting on my shelf along with a lot of other palettes. It's one of those things, like I have 81 palettes, and I want to get use out of them all, but in that case, like, it's very difficult to use them all as much as I wish I could, because I am not someone who wants to use a bunch of palettes in one given day. That's just not how I roll. But there are two palettes that I really do want from BellaBeauteBar. It's Crystallize, which I have talked about before, and then Basic Witch has been on my wish list forever, and I think last time I checked it was in the sale section, so it's a little bit cheaper. One palette is expensive, but if I add two palettes, it's even more expensive. I kind of want this outer corner to be a little bit deeper, so I'm gonna go into Mahogany. The shade names are like cursive, so I can't read them from this far away, but it's at the dark brown, and we're just gonna add that. It snowed last night, at some point last night, because I woke up and there was snow on the ground. And I know it looks like I'm going back into the palette a million times, which I am, but it's because I like to build and blend slowly, and I just do it little by little. And I wanted to do green today to match my sweater. Let me know down below any like video ideas that you would love to see in the new year. Do you want to see any specific like series or tags? Tags are starting to get popular again. I know Betty Jean recently did like an eyeshadow palette collection tag, but like a revamped version, and I really want to refilm that. Tags are nice because they don't take very long to do, and they don't take very long to edit, and so it's a pretty quick turnaround for tag videos. So I like to do them every once in a while, more or less as like a filler video, but I like to do these get ready with me's and stuff. I would love to do like 3 looks 1 palettes again. They just take so much time and energy, and I don't think I have the time or the energy for me to want to maintain 2 to 3 videos a week. Like, I have to time it very good. I'm gonna use my Divergent Stick and Sparkle because this is the like glittery primer that I currently have. It's not as sticky or like tacky as I want it to. I also do not put it directly onto my eyelid because it kind of makes it a little bit slippy. There's that trend with your eyes where it's like wet, that wet looking eye look. That's kind of what this did when I applied too much. So like what I would do, or what I do, is I put a little bit on my finger and then I tack it in between my fingers to like activate as much tackiness as I can, and then I lay it on. So I have on my hand here, so I think I have Butterfly on the top, Deserted in the middle, and I have Imagine on the bottom. So we have Butterfly, Deserted, and Imagine. Imagine is like a green to blue shift. Deserted is like a green to this bronzy shade. And then Butterfly just seems to be like, you know, a normal shimmer, I guess. Not really all that flippy. So I think I want to do Butterfly, and then I want to do Deserted. And I always use my finger. You need next to nothing shimmer wise for these palettes. You do not need much pigment, like, at all. It is crazy. That's why I love the BellaBeauteBar formula. It is amazing. I really like the shimmers that are more of a smooth texture, because there is some chunky ones in here, and the chunky ones are not necessarily my favorite, but this deserted one definitely is smooth and really, really pretty. And if I'm looking head on, like, you see that, like, a little bit of that copperness too. I almost dropped it. You see, like, this copperness to the look, and then with the angle of my eye, like, this outer corner looks green. But then if I put a little bit of butterfly into the inner corner, it is, or the inner portion of the lid, it kind of makes it look like it goes green to the bronzy color to the green, like the darker green. Just take my blending brush and I blend the edges, and like, that is stunning. I'm going back into the brown and the green just to re-emphasize this matte outer corner, because sometimes I do place my shimmers way too far out, and when I move my head, like, it doesn't look very blended. And then I'm taking my little blending brush and I'm just blending it out. Really, I love this look. This look is beautiful. For my base products, I am just going to do what I've been using regularly. So my In Real Life Filter Finish from, what is it called? Makeup Revolution. I do have some, like, areas where I need some help. So this one is almost done, but I was telling you guys earlier about my idea to do, like, a collective haul, kind of like a buys and buys, except I'm not showing you the good buys. I'm just showing you the things that brought in to my collection, kind of like do like a beauty budget sort of thing, like show how much that I used or how much money I've spent. So this is the Clover foundation. I'm using this quite a lot because I would like to finish it. And there is a foundation I would love to try out, but I don't want to buy that one until I finish at least this one. But who knows, maybe I will buy it regardless and then have it sit around until this one is finished. This one is like halfway done though. Let me know how you guys are doing. I have not done a get ready with me in a while, so I have not talked to you really, you know, one-to-one. We can do our makeup together. Which I enjoy get ready with me videos because I like to get ready, not alone. And overall, that blending job I did was pretty good for just using my phone viewfinder. And then I have been using like one of those puffs to do my powder, but I don't want to clean my puff. I feel like you got to clean the puff more than you have to clean a brush. So this is just like an angled brush. And then I'm taking my Essence powder foundation, and I like to use it under my eyes because it gives extra coverage. And I really like the way it looks under my eyes. And then I like to put it around my nose because my nose gets extremely red because I usually blow my nose a couple times during the day. And then I use a bigger brush and I kind of buff out this area because I would like my face to try and match or blend into my neck as seamless as possible. And it's easier for me to do this with a brush than to, you know, bring my sponge all the way down. So if I can just use a powder foundation and buff it all in, I think it has a more cohesive blend down my neck. I'm gonna do my brows and I will be back. Brows are all done Have you guys seen or participated in the 2026 is going to be the new 2016? What are your guys' overall thoughts on that whole, like, theme? Like, I don't know, the trend, I guess. And let me tell you, I am rocking my ABH Dip Brow Pomade. This is what it is looking like. I got this in a FabFitFun about 2 years ago, I think. One of my first FabFitFuns I ever gotten. And this, I use this every single time I do my makeup. And I'm about like halfway done with it. I'm a little over halfway done with it. And it's been 2 years. It'll probably take me in another 2 years to finish this. It's already starting to get like a little dried out, which disappoints me greatly. I'd never had the Dip Brow Pomade when it was very popular, and I really wanted it. And I really do love it. Like, I use it every day and I don't feel like my brows are overly, like, ambitious, I guess. But let me know down below, do you think 2026 is going to be the new 2016? Because let me tell you, back in 2016, that was not a fun time. So I'm going to use my Benefit Hoola, you know, be nostalgic and everything. I've also been trying to use this more to learn to love it. It is a mini bronzer. So I really would love to use it, love it, and be able to hit pan and finish it someday. So I've been trying to use it more often. Because let's face it, when this was really popular, you know, tanning was really popular. So this bronzer being a little bit orangey was preferred. But now, like, this bronzer is nowhere near as popular, at least on like social media and stuff. I'm sure people still buy it on a very regular basis. The people who are not like on the Instagram or not on the YouTubes and stuff, I'm sure people purchase this over and over and over again. I don't see anyone like on YouTube or anything talking about the bronzer or even their blushes. They recently came out with new blushes. Recently, it's probably been within like the last 2 years. They revamped their blush collection. I don't have any of the blushes, but the bronzer formula is really nice. Like, I think it looks really pretty. It's just that the color isn't all that great, and I thought for the longest time it was too dark for me, but maybe it's because I was applying it wrong. I don't think this is looking too bad. I'm gonna bring out my Lorac highlighter. I worked on this all last year. If you are new to this channel, I did a Finish 5 in 2025 project, and I really wanted to use this up, and that didn't happen. So I am using it consistently this year to see how far I can get. It's not in an official project pan, but I would like to finish it regardless. It does a beautiful glow. I've been using it recently because I really do love it. And this is a new product for me. I purchased this with my What's Up Beauty order. I got the blush, their blush line. It's in the lightest shade, 10 Peaceful Pizza. It is one of the lightest shades. It is the lightest shade. And I love how they have like blue mixed in. And I purposely got the lightest shade because I know some of my favorite blushes in my collection are those Sydney Grace, Always and Forever, and Santa Monica Pier. They're two of my favorite blushes, and it's because of how light they are, and I can go ham and I don't feel like I am overdoing it. Like, this is just such a pretty color for me as a very fair skin tone. And I think it just looks very flattering. Like, it doesn't look overly harsh. Like, it looks like a natural flush to my cheeks. And I could layer this and layer this and layer this, and I will never get to the point where I'm like, this is a little much. I have been loving this blush. I am so glad I bought it. I would love to try their bronzers, the lightest bronzer, because I feel like that would have a similar sort of effect on the skin. This is just beautiful. I am so glad I purchased this. So happy. We're gonna go back in the eyes, and I think on the lower lash line, I think I'm just gonna do a mix of Escape and that Lock and Key color to kind of blend it out a little bit under there, and then use more Lock and Key to blend it out. I don't like to do a whole lot on my lower lash lines because I feel like it overpowers. And if I go below, so I do have this like crease in my eye. If I go too far in or if I go too far down, it will catch into that little crease, because everyone creases. It'll catch in that little crease and then it'll drag and go somewhere else where I don't want it to go. I see other people have the similar problem where they have this like line under their eye and they bring eyeshadow too far in, which is why I prefer eyeliners. They tend to stay where you want them. If I do it too far in, it'll go somewhere else, and then if I go too far down, like you'll just see the crease and it's not very flattering. But that is my lower lash line. I think for my inner corner, I think I am just going to use my Lorac highlighter because it is such a perfect inner corner highlight as well. And there isn't anything really in the BellaBeauteBar palette where I feel like is appropriate for the inner corner. I don't really like to put the chunkier shades in my inner corner. I feel like I don't get my look that I want, and then I do go up. People call it, what, the swoop? I do bring it up the swoop. But I think it just catches the light so effortlessly. This is slightly lighter than my skin tone, which is why I love it so much. So it actually like highlights that area, plus it does give a little bit of a sheen. I am going to use my NYX Epic Wear eyeliner stick. This one is in All Time Olive. This is such a good green. I do really want to get a brighter green from the line because I do miss having my ColourPop eyeliner. I'm going to put it on my lower skin just a little bit, and I'll probably blend that out with a brush. But I like to use these like thin paddle brushes for my lower lash line because I feel like it just gets up in there and it's not too thick. Because, like I said, I don't want it to go down too far. I think that's really nice. Because this is Kay's channel, we always do liquid liner around here. I did do a short showing you guys how I do my eyeliner with this exact eyeliner pen. So if you guys are interested in that, go to my channel, go to my shorts, and it'll be my winged eyeliner tutorial. While I was away, I did my winged eyeliner. I also did mascara, so I used Wrap Lash on the top, and then my MCO Beauty extender lash on the bottom. This wrap lash is starting to get pretty dry, so I think like within the next week I'll have to retire this into my empties bin. Like it's getting dry. Like almost nothing is going on to my lashes. I have to keep going in and out of this, you know, of this container. And then I did do setting spray, so I used this LA Girl Pro Perfect Oil Control Multitasking Setting Spray in the matte finish. So I did use this. I wanted to do my lips on camera. I'm thinking of using this e.l.f. glossy lip stain in the shade Berry Queen, and then using my Milani lip gloss like on top of it to kind of tone it down, because this is like a purpley sort of color. I still do have that lip balm on my lips, so it's not gonna be like opaque. Because I already have like a lip balmy product underneath it, it's not gonna really stain as much. And then if I go in with my Milani gloss, which that is how much product comes out on the gloss right now, I will have to take the stopper out soon. I've been trying different lip combos to see if I like any of them. What does that look like? Do we like that color combo? I've been testing out color combos to see if I will like or really dislike anything. I don't know. I think this overall look is very pretty. I love the green eyeshadow. The Secret Garden palette is such a good one, and I'm very glad that I used it in today's video. I don't believe I did a Throwback Thursday with this yet. It is a slightly older palette, but it is such a beautiful palette. BellaBeauteBar did an amazing job. And what colors did I use? This in the crease, outer corner, then I used these two like to blend everything out. I used this shade on the outer lid, this shade on the inner lid, and then I used a combination of these two shades on the lower lash line, and I used my Lorac highlighter in my inner corner. This here is the finished and final look, and you can see my cheeks, it does not look overpowering. The What's Up Beauty blush formula, and especially in that color, I think it's very flattering for my fair skin and what I do like and enjoy. So I really love this palette, love the look that I came up with. I am so happy about my What's Up Beauty order. I'm very happy about them. I'll show you guys my What's Up Beauty order and everything I got in my Sephora favorites kit. And if I buy anything else in January, I will do that video later in January. And this is just so pretty. If you guys are really enjoying this Get Ready With Me sort of style, I do have an entire playlist for Throwback Thursdays, which I try to do once a month. And I try to use an older palette that maybe you already have, so make sure you pull it back out again because they are beautiful and you can create so many different looks. But I will leave my Throwback Thursday playlist linked down below if you guys enjoy makeup related content, project panning, chit-chatting about makeup. I recommend you subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, make sure you like it. Make sure you hype so people can find my channel and this video. Comment down below. I love to talk to you guys down there, and I love and appreciate you guys all so much. Thank you for being here with me while I got ready, and I shall see you guys next time.